The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Well, thank you very much, Tim McKenney, behind the glass. It's a pleasure working with you, and welcome everyone in WATD land. It's really great to be here with Paul Ponders and part of the PS&All marketing group. And I guess I'm no stranger to WATD, going way back in the days of the Sports Exchange when I was a guest on the Sports Exchange with Coach Bill Wilhelm and Arthur Boyle. And I just want to thank a great shout out to Rob Hackler, who's been absolutely wonderful to work with in coming up with this show and this concept, and Mr. Ed Perry for inviting me to, in fact, be part of the WATD family. So I look forward to working with you and just letting you know about Paul Ponders and the PS&All marketing group. And I talked about the past, and over the past year or so, I've been a guest call-in contributor of The Boiling Point with Mr. Arthur Boyle. And now I have Mr. Arthur Boyle in studio. He's the executive consultant of Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Arthur Boyle, welcome.
I don't know if I can stand all the pressure.
Yeah, you got this. You got this, Arthur. You know how to do it. Welcome.
Well, it's nice to be here and nice to be with WATD. We do so many good things in this community. I said, you just have to look around at things that are good and happening on the South Shore, and we're going to spread a little of that to the North Shore as well. No reason to exclude anybody. And I think you'll do a wonderful job. You'll have a lot of fun, and you'll give the general public some kicks.
Absolutely, without a doubt. But one of the first things you taught me, and I've known you for years, I've known you and your family for years, is you got to pay the bills. You have to take care of things. So as the executive consultant of Paul Ponders 95.9 WATD, you've helped me with securing some commercials, and we're going to take a break right now for a couple of commercials from our sponsors.
Have you tried Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakeesit Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
Well, thank you to our sponsors, Bryanttville Pizza Kitchen and Pembroke Collision. Arthur, welcome back.
Well, it's nice to be back, and I wonder if we should explain to the general public what Paul Ponders is and who he is and what he does. Give you an intro. You get the first week free, and after that, all questions are $7.95 a piece.
An operator is standing by. If I act now, do I get the free Ginzu knife?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, Paul Ponders is a podcast that I have, and it's produced by PodPro Entertainment, and it's available on Spotify, YouTube, and other streaming outlets. And it's my pondering thoughts. I've dropped over 50 episodes and been doing it for over a year and a half now, and it's part of the PS&All marketing group. And that's just something that I've put together, a side gig when I'm not general manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant in Malden. I know my staff is listening through the Odyssey app, and shout out to them. They're back in Malden holding down the fort and all. And yes, I do have a coffee that I got at Mary Lou's Coffee on 139 here in Marshfield. And shout out to Molly and her colleagues over at Mary Lou's Coffee. Her aunt is actually Paula Terenzi of Paula Terenzi Dance in Malden.
Oh, yeah, the dancers too, so that's a good thing. You'll entertain the crews on Saturday.
Absolutely, without a doubt. But Arthur, it's really great to be having on my own show, but after the boiling point and all, and tell us about your history and your career with WATD.
Well, the boiling point was my most recent uptake with WATD. I had done about 20 years with Bill Wilhelm in the football and basketball and hockey crew. And, you find it funny that people will recognize you, in, a crowd or in a restaurant or whatever. They say, geez, we heard you on the radio, and you don't really think about it as much as the people. There's a mystery to some of it. I think people are fascinated by radio, and I know I have been and will continue to be, involved in radio, and it's fun. It's addictive. Ed Perry sold me on it years ago that he was addicted to it as a kid, a high school kid, and I got involved in it. I guess I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and it bites you like a bug, and you're forever hooked. So you'll if you haven't got it already, you'll get the feeling.
Absolutely. Well, I really do have it, and I'm really enjoying this. And I know when I was calling in with the boiling point with my Paul Ponders segment, it was really a lot of fun just to prepare and just come up with all sorts of ideas and things to talk about. And, of course, Paul Ponders ponders. That's what I do. And all. I'm looking through the glass. I don't know if there's a call on the line. We may have a caller. I do invite our callers to call in on the call line at 781-837-4900. Again, that's 781-837-4900. And you're also able to listen through the Odyssey app, which is really very easy to download. You just go to the Play Store and you just download that. And we'll see what's... wait, do we have a call on hold? It looks like we have a call on hold. And who could it be? Hello?
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 Yes.
Who's this?
This is Joey Voices. How are you?
Joey Voices. Hello there. Could this be Joey from the neighborhood?
How you doing? This is Joey from the neighborhood. Funny how? What do you mean funny the way I talk? Funny how?
Oh, wow.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. It's really great to have you on, and I want to welcome you to Paul Ponders on WATD. And in the studio, we have Arthur Boyle as a guest.
Arthur's a wonderful man. Hi, Arthur. How are you?
I'm well, Joe. Thanks. How are you?
I'm great. Arthur's been nothing but good to me, and I just wanted to say that. I love you, Arthur. You're a wonderful man.
Well, thank you. That's flattering, and coming from you, it's a great compliment.
Thank you.
You are one of my favorite, if not my favorite, comedian / voice impersonator, and I don't know what it is that you have that other people don't, but it's really a fascinating show to come and watch, and I encourage anybody who has Joey Voices in their headlights, that you're going to go to see a great comedian, and you'll get a great show.
Thank you, Arthur. It means a lot coming from you because of the career that you've had and the people that you've helped, the type of person you are. That always means it's meaningful coming from somebody like you. So thank you. I'm a singer, impressionist, comedian. More emphasis on the singer, impressionist. I just change the lyrics around in a lot of the songs and the singers I impersonate, and I change the lyrics around to be funny. So that's where the comedian aspect of my show comes in, and it kind of turns it into a wonderful, clean Vegas-style show. And it's a very rare type of gift that God has given me, and I never take it for granted, and I'm grateful every day that I wake up. I say thank you to God for blessing me with this talent.
Well, it is a blessing and a talent, no doubt about it. I remember, and I'll go back in time and take you for a trip in time, but you were doing a variety show at Malden High School, and your father was up in the upper seating, filming it from a distance that we said the only thing you'll be able to see is Joey's head.
It was my father. He was videotaping it, and I'll never forget this because I forget who it was, but he come up and says, "Oh, you can't videotape," and he said, "Stop me. Go ahead, try to stop me." And then the guy just walked away. He goes, "That's my son. I'm videotaping my son."
Yeah, he was a wonderful participant for the kids.
Yeah. The old Malden was legendary. Old Malden had people like your mom, your dad, yourself, my dad, Jim Conway, all the old guard, and those guys made Malden what it was at the time. But now you have guys like Gary Christensen who are making Malden great for what it is now. And I love Gary, and I love everything that's happening. Malden's a multicultural city, and I love how it's developed, and I love the police department, how they keep the crime rate down, and so everybody can live in safety and prosperity. Malden's a great town, and I wanted to just say that about our hometown, where we're from.
Absolutely. And Joey, you have a great thing going on in Malden on December 21st. If you want to tell us about that.
Yeah, we have a show coming up at the Pearl Street Station Restaurant. That's a wonderful place. The food is fantastic, and they've been sponsoring my show since 2016, thanks to Paul Solano. And we every time we do a show that we sell it out, and I'm grateful for that. And my partner and I, Mike Vaselli, Mikey V, our show is called the Boston Comedy Show. And this year, this coming up on the 21st, we have Sean O'Brien Jr. opening, Jody Sloan, and we have a surprise comedian that I haven't told my partner, Mike Vaselli, about yet, Nolan Baker, Eddie Baker's son. He's going to do 5 minutes. He's a very funny comic, and I'm giving him an opportunity to get on our stage and make the audience laugh. So that's going to be a fun night. And then my show is going to close it out.
That's tremendous. And also dinner reservations are available. You just have to give me a call at the restaurant, and I'm happy to take that dinner reservation. But you are right about the sold-out shows. It is absolutely amazing how well you travel, and you are a man of hundreds of voices. It's a great show.
Yes. Well, the voices in my head sing to me. So and I'm a very good manager. I manage them very well. And I told my girlfriend when I met her, I said, listen, when you go on a date with me, I said, you never know who you're going to get. And she laughed. And then I did my Donald Trump impression for her, and she laughed. That's what won her over.
Wow. That's great. Well, Joey, I look forward to having you maybe on future segments of Paul Ponders. Maybe we'll reinvent Joey from the neighborhood.
Can we get him to do a couple of voices?
Okay,
yeah,
yes.
You want me to do it?
Yes, please.
How you doing? It's Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci, funny how? What do you mean funny? The way I talk? Funny how? Funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? And then we get Michael McDonald. Remember Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers? You don't know me, but I'm your brother. We got him. We got Al Green. Remember Al Green, the Reverend Al Green? I'm so in love with you, ever you want to do. We got a little Bart Skaggs, Babies in a run around and with the crowd. Put your business in the street, talk now loud. So we got a million voices coming up on the 21st. And I got a little Burl Ives for the Christmas show. And possibly a little Jimmy Durante.
That's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
I love it.
It's going to be wonderful.
I love it. Well, Joey from the
neighborhood.
Yes.
If people want tickets, they can go to Eventbrite, eventbrite.com, Eventbrite, and they can get tickets. Just type in Joey Voices, December 21st, and that'll pop right up for you, and you can get your tickets there. You better get them now because it's selling out quick. The radio ad is on WRLR and WPLM, and now we're on WATD with Paul Solano, Paul Ponders, and Arthur Boyle.
Well, we're glad to be a part of the mix.
We are indeed.
Thank you.
Joey Voices, thank you for calling in, and look forward to chatting with you soon.
Likewise, and God bless you both.
God bless. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You as well. Bye now. Thank you. Joey really is a very talented individual, and it really is a great show. And I know we're coming up on a commercial break, another commercial break, to sell some more ads and to pay for our studio time. So we'll be winding down and going into the commercial break. You see Tim behind the glass, and we're okay. So let us hear from our sponsors.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakesett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you. Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand it to Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Briantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Briantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
Thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. Arthur, we are back.
We are back is right. I just want to tell you, we talked off the air about Joey Voices. He is, you'll go home, I guarantee you, you'll go home, your sides hurt. You're laughing so hard. It's a great show.
It really is, and I do encourage people to log into that Eventbrite link that he spoke about, and hopefully we'll see you up in Malden at Pearl Street Station Restaurant. So we were hoping to hear from the car guy. He's probably tied up with a few sales right now, but I had the chance of interacting with Mark on your Boiling Point, and he really is a very fascinating individual, so well versed in his field.
Yeah, he's a specialist. There's no doubt about it. That he does what few others do.
Without a doubt. And I had a chance to speak to Kenny from Briantville Pizza and Kitchen, and he really has some great products on his menu. So we're going to be talking that up and hopefully visiting him one of these days.
Yeah, I've been doing business with Briantville Pizza Kitchen for about a year now, and the only thing I'm doing is putting on weight.
I love it. Well, I'm on that calorie count after losing the 62 pounds and keeping the 62 pounds off for about 4.5 years now. And I do, in fact, cut down on the carbs, but I still manage to have some of those protein items, and we enjoy them.
Protein-infused items.
Yes, exactly. And I also...
is good for you because it's got all the tomatoes and...
Exactly, without a doubt. And I had a nice chat with Ben Bastianelli over at Pembroke Collision, and we actually have a mutual friend. Actually, it's his cousin. I'm on the board of the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, and his brother-in-law or his cousin. And
why am I not
husband.
Surprised you're related to somebody involved in this?
Seriously, it's the 6 degrees of separation. Kevin Bacon is going to show up in this conversation somewhere along the way. But it's really, and I want to thank Ben for also being a sponsor, continuing to be a sponsor. So as we evolve with Paul Ponders, with what we're going to be doing, we're going to be rolling out some segments. We're going to have my producer, Techie Talonzo Amos, with Pod Pro Entertainment.
A little known fact about Mr. Limos.
Yes.
We were coaches in the basketball league and the city league together. We were on opposite teams, but we were together in terms of the goal. And he's a great guy.
He really is, and he just does it all. And I thought I was busy, but he's really, really busy, and he does so many wonderful things.
Yeah, he's a high energy guy.
He really is, absolutely, without a doubt. So we'll be having some techie tips from him, and a colleague of his and colleague of mine, who is a past Paul Ponders guest, Shelley Wolf. She'll be contributing some really great techie toolbox kits and
you know
tips.
what a techie I am, so I can do nothing but learn.
Yes, indeed. We that's so true for so many of us. We'll be having a segment, Financial Wing, which will be rolling out in the next week or two. And then we're going to have the Uplift Provisions Nonprofit Corner of the Week. So I do invite our South Shore nonprofits to, in fact, just email me at paul@paulponders.com and just let me know if you want to be featured for a 2-3 minute segment on our Uplift Provisions Nonprofit Corner of the Week. With my PSNL marketing group, I do work with a lot of nonprofits and plan out comedy shows and plan out fundraisers, annual appeal letters, and set up giving societies. And I do all that from my past work as a director of institutional advancement at some high schools in the area. We'll give a shout out to Malden Catholic High School and Bishop Fenwick High School up on the North Shore, but I have also worked at Babson College, and I've been able to work with a lot of various colleagues, and I've been able to work on a lot of nonprofit events and with other organizations. So again, I do invite our listeners to, in fact, reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com. Now, Arthur, you've been involved through the years with some nonprofits on the North Shore, but also on the South Shore down here.
Yeah, I've been involved in business over nonprofit and many other reasons. No, I'm just kidding. We've had a very successful run in business in the South Shore and the North Shore, and it's been fun. But yeah, I've been involved in scholarship fund. I'm a trustee for a couple of high school.
The endowment fund of Malden High School,
yeah,
right?
That, and we've done one, the Bill Wilhelm Scholarship Fund. We have others throughout the community that are just tailor-made for some of the students, because the things that you run into that you don't think of right away is the cost of books. And you get, the bill for your room and board and your food and your parking, and somebody forgot the books. So we fill a spot there, and it's a worthwhile community venture.
Exactly. I do remember advising individuals when I was in the for-profit world of planning, but also in the nonprofit world of setting up endowed scholarships and restricted scholarships, and looking at how it's important to categorize some of those donations as maybe education awards versus scholarships, because some of those scholarships at times you have to report to the colleges, and it could conceivably get deducted from the FAFSA, from the financial aid reward. So I believe that an education award that goes specifically for the purchase of a laptop or any books is in fact a way of just getting the money to the recipient and then having them just show receipts to the nonprofit. So it sort of has worked out well in the past.
Yeah, as you know, I went to school late and graduated from Eastern Nazarene. Go Crusaders! My wife and I gave up a lot of time and effort and so forth to be able to put me through, college late, and I don't think I could have made it without the assistance of, the finance people. The college is gone now, unfortunately, but it's a specific place in your life where you don't have the money to stretch it any further, and it becomes a difficult, choice in some cases. Do I pay my tuition or do I pay my car bill? And I'm very proud of the fact that I graduated at 48 years old on a promise kept to my mother.
That is fabulous, and I do remember when you did graduate, and it was a proud moment for your family, and it was great. Your determination, perseverance in going to school nights and running a couple of successful businesses and serving in public office too was in fact very difficult, but you did it.
Yeah, and there's no excuse for not doing it and furthering your education. If it's going to help you with the world around you, it's worth doing. And you've got so many great colleges in the area. Quincy College is an example, and Four Cs and Massasoit. There's so many great choices, and we didn't intend to discuss my further education on the show today, but it's a good thing to have within your grasp, and with the opportunity to do just that, graduate from college. There was a special feeling about that day because you worked so hard at it and you paid for it. I was well into my business career when I went back to school, and I didn't get the chance to have my parents pay for my college education. They were more than willing when I was 18, but when I was 48, they were a little less enthused about paying for college education. So, but I invite people to, look up online and get an idea of what you want to do and then pursue it.
Absolutely. Just pursue those goals and those dreams without a doubt. So here we are at WATD, and you've been part of a couple of programs here, but I want you, we sort of talked about this off air, but can you maybe pick your top 3 WATD moments, play calls, experiences, guests?
Well, you don't have to go far to get highlights, because Bill Wilhelm was a running highlight for almost 40 years, in being a co-host with him at times, and a color man, and you just had so much excitement. And there were times at the Boston Garden, that Duxbury carried the day, in one of the afternoons, and it just was so exciting to be part of it. And we had the football Hollywood visitation, where they played us at their place in California, and went the following year, and we played them at California, and California came here, and we had a great time. And it's those things you'll never forget.
Without a doubt. Now, a shout out to Coach Bill. Hopefully he and Marcia are listening, and hopefully they're doing well. What is your second favorite WATD sports moment?
Well, there was a case where we matched up a caller with a generation earlier, in that my dad was a high school basketball coach, and among other things, and he got written up in the Boston Globe for sportsmanship, a sportsmanship column that Neil Singulays, I believe it was, for the Boston Globe. He wrote about a coach who went and taped the ankle of a kid who sprained his ankle early in the first quarter of the game, and that kid came back and hit a shot with 2 seconds to go, knocked Malden out of the Tech Tourney, the old Tech Tourney, as many people remember it. Anyway, the story goes, Tom Barreo, who lived on the South Shore, and as far as I know, he still does. I don't see him, but he's always a good piece of memory for my dad's legacy, where he was the kid that sprained his ankle, got retaped, got back on the floor, and hit the game-winning shot. And they told my father, you could have left him and, didn't have to tape him up and that kind of thing. And that wasn't him. He wouldn't have been satisfied, winning on an injury. So that was fun because he called in and we exchanged stories and names, and that was in the day when the Greater Boston League included Quincy, New Bedford, and it might have had Fall River Turfy. I don't remember. I was a kid then. Mm-hmm. I'm not a kid now.
A kid at heart, yes.
Yeah, I think we're all, we all have high school memories, and, you can't go back in time, but you can certainly relive it with your friends, and that's good.
Oh, it is important. Absolutely. Now, as far as calling games, did you ever call any Super Bowls at, say, Foxborough Stadium, Sullivan Stadium, Gillette Stadium, whatever it was called?
Yeah, we were there for all three of the name changes, but we did several games a year, actually. And they just had a game on last night. Was it last night or the night before? But I listen now to Bill Vos and Quinn Kelly, and they do a great job, and it's fun to listen to people that you know, but it's more important to keep it in the community and have the opportunity for these kids to have what our kids had, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely, and I was tuning in, and I was listening up. I was listening to the football broadcast, and Quinn and Bill did an absolutely awesome job, and it was a great play call at the end. It was so descriptive, and the shout out to Quinn Kelly. I actually met him when I was here in studio the other day, visiting with Rob Hackala, and we had a nice chat. And when I see Quinn at the holiday party next week that I'm invited to, that I'll be attending, we have to talk about his Zavarian days, because I worked at Malden Catholic and I did the fundraising for them. So, but Quinn just really made a great play call, and Johnny and Bill, it was really great. I felt like I was there with the Duxbury-Scituate game, and Scituate ended up winning.
Yeah, Scituate, I don't say they were not favored, but Duxbury had such a machine for so long that you kind of expect them to win. And Herb Devine, the coach at Scituate, is a guy who's built the program from the ground up, literally. And, it's great for the schools. It's great for the area and the tournaments and, building rivalries and, showing good sportsmanship. There's so many great things that come out of it. And I don't think sometimes we tend not to dwell on the What am I looking for?
The power rankings and the
we're not
the strength of schedule.
Yeah,
which I still can't figure out.
I know. Yeah, you have to be a rocket scientist to figure out the football settings.
Without a doubt, it really is. But I remember way back when there was the Sullivan rule, which was in effect, and you conceivably had a 4 and 5 team making the tourney, the MIA tournament. I still can't figure that out, but that's a story for a different day, a topic of conversation for a different day. I was really into that when I was working as Director of Institutional Advancement at Malden Catholic and also at Bishop Fenwick High School. And we had some really competitive teams there, and I do reflect back to the days when I was at Malden Catholic between 1999 and 2003, and the MC lacrosse team would always have a great record, and then there was Duxbury. And Duxbury would, in fact, be on that schedule, and there was the championship, and Duxbury would win. And it was just one of those things, but it was always just great seeing a great program. And I believe that I think it was the 2004 Malden Catholic lacrosse team was just inducted into the Malden Catholic Hall of Fame. And it was a great program, but they always had to face Duxbury in the finals.
Yeah, Duxbury, I mean, they've had great hockey programs. They've had great basketball programs. They've had great baseball programs.
And soccer, Coach Bill.
Soccer, yeah. Well, Bill was part of a legendary crew of coaches that were all winners in state tournaments and so forth. That I never called a soccer game. Bill always did those with Jim Fagan and some others who were outstanding men. And, the thing is, when you're not comfortable with the sport, and I'm not comfortable with soccer, it comes through that you don't know what you're talking about, and you're better off not getting involved at all. But I would go and watch the game, but I didn't have anything to contribute, so you would just say, another hat in the wind.
I hear you. It's something that Coach Bill Wilhelm just had a legendary program there. And it looks like we may have a call-in. Someone may be calling in. I don't know if someone is calling in at the end of the show as we're starting to wind down. All right, we're going to keep on going. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going to start winding down and all, but Arthur, it really is great just having you as the executive consultant to Paul Ponders on WATD. And looking forward to maybe having you back next week.
I got to get a bigger jacket to put all the titles on.
I love it. Well, chief cook and bottle washer is great. Why not?
Yeah, and it's more descriptive probably of what you'd actually have me do.
Absolutely. And again, I do invite you to log into paulponders.com, part of the PodPro Entertainment network of podcasts. Techie Talonzo Amos has some really great podcasts in his group of PodPro Entertainment, but paulponders.com is one of them, and that is available on Spotify, YouTube, other streaming networks, and it's something that I hope you really do become a subscriber and check it out. It's really great, and I'm hoping that you have enjoyed listening to Paul Ponders, our debut on WATD. Arthur?
Yeah, it just occurred to me that Talonzo Amos, who is your engineer, was a coach of one of the rival teams, as I said earlier. But he was a player in his day. He could get you 20 points on a hot night. So I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Absolutely,
without a doubt, Techie Talonzo and all. So I want you to stay tuned to WATD for the memories with Ron Dwyer, the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. Join us again on Paul Ponders next Saturday with more pondering thoughts. As I said, you could check us out on Paul Ponders. And thanks again to Arthur and our advertisers, but really thank you, our listeners in WATD world and beyond. #Indeed.